Greetings, 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 greetings to all. Peace, love, harmony, and light. This is your brother, your friend, Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, God manifest in the flesh. First off, I want to give thanks to the Great Spirit. Just want to give thanks for the breath of life. Giving thanks to my ancestors for always using me as a vessel to serve my purpose. And that's all I'm going to do. All right, I know that my purpose is greater than my flesh. So therefore, I don't cater to the flesh. I cater to the spirit. All right. Now, with that being said, let me just put a few things on pause right here. Make sure that I have no distractions. Give me a second while you guys chime into this live feed. We're gonna drop some information today, as I always do. Videos are for educational purposes. Videos are for the awakening and the enlightenment of my people. For too long, we have been lied to. Okay, we have been lied to, deceived, and hey, the information is here. So it's up to you whether you want to do your own research. But everything I tell people, I put in videos. Research the information. Okay, go search it yourself and then do the research, and then you go within yourself and you do some in search. You see, because most people do research, but they don't do in search. Two different things. You see me? So most of my seeking, I do it within. I do what's called in searching. I have the higher self talk to me. I have my ancestors talk to me and show me the light, because I am the light. I came from the light. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I put a post on Facebook where one of our brothers is in a critical condition right now. He had an accident, car was totaled, almost lost his life, broke a lot of bones, and he has done many surgeries, a few surgeries, and I think he has one or two more to go. So if you guys could support that, I will put that in the link. Also, I have my Cash App. I got to take a couple of trips, to do some research for you, the people, we the people. And honestly, I just think more of you should support. I'm just keeping it 100, because all the research that I'm doing, all the information, man, this thing take me all day. This is a job, and I'm not getting paid for it, and I'm not asking you to pay me for it. All I'm just saying is, man, just have a little bit of decency and support. We got to stop talking about we got to look out for each other, but here I am playing my part. I'm looking out for us, and you're not reciprocating the love. You know what I mean? And just know what you put out there in the universe, that's what you're going to get back. So I'm going to keep bringing the information anyway. I'm going to keep bringing it, whether you support or not, because that's my purpose. But all I'm just saying is show your appreciation, right? So as you can see the title of the video, when they want, to say that calling ourselves American Indians or American Aboriginals is a crime, what you have to do is just show them the information speaks for itself. You feel what I'm saying? The information speaks for itself, but because what you have to do is get into the mindset of the colonizer, of the oppressor, and they will use every single thing to discredit you, to make you look, to defend your character. That's what they do. They assassinate your character, and then they try to justify it with their own ideologies, but at the same time, acting like they are blind to treaties and laws. Well, I stand on the law. And I'm going to show you some things today that they cannot refute. So when I say that I'm an American Aboriginal, aka an American Indian, and I don't identify as Black or African American or colored, why is that a problem? Why is that every other ethnic group get to come into our land and have a nationality, belong to an ethnic group, but when our people do it, it's a problem? No, you just want us to be Black. No, you just want us to be African American. Why is that? Well, it's not going to happen on my watch. And that's why they're having a problem with me right now. Chief Kalanago is dropping too much information. But I'm going to continue to do it because that's what my ancestors brought me here for. So let us proceed and let us get into this bill. Like I said, show your appreciation. The link is in the chat. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first share my screen, and we're going to do some reading because reading is fun. It's fun for the mental. Okay. This information right here, I'm going to put it in the link below the video, but by all means, do your own independent reading. All right, so let's share the screen and let's get into this. All right, share screen. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's do this build, man. Information that cannot be refuted, period. Okay, so this right here, in their own words, I'm going to read some of that for you. This is about 36 pages. We're not going to read the entire thing, but however, we are going to put that in the link below so you could do the rest of the reading yourself. All right, it's an act to reclassify coloreds as American Indians. All right, but it's actually the other way around, to identify American Indians as colored. So you will see the semantics and the games that's being played here, right? All right, Senate hearing 107-921 from the U.S. Government Printing Office. Now, that's not from Chief Kalanago's office. Okay, it is not from my office. It is not from our website. It is not from none of that. It's from, what does it say? It's from the U.S. Government Printing Office. Okay. All right. We have Thomasina E. Jordan, Indian Tribes of Virginia, Federal Recognition Act. Hearing before the Committee of Indian Affairs, United States Senate 107th Congress, second session on S.2694. All right. This is a hearing. So I am showing you, I'm going to read the printout of the hearing because I'm not the one making this up. That's their document. It's public information and I'm just sharing it, okay? To extend federal recognition to the Chickahominy tribe, the Chickahominy Indian tribe, Eastern Division, the Upper Mattapony tribe, the Rappahannock tribe, Inc., the Monacan tribe, and the Nansemond tribe. October 9th, 2002, Washington, D.C., 85-575, U.S. Government Printing Office, Washington. All right. Committee on Indian Affairs, Daniel K. Inouye, Hawaii Chairman. Ben Nighthorse Campbell, Colorado Vice Chairman. Kent Conrad, North Dakota. Harry Reid, Nevada. Daniel K. Akaka, Hawaii. Frank Murkowski, Alaska. John McCain, Arizona. Pete V. Dominici, New Mexico. Anyway, I don't have to read all the names because I don't want to butcher these people's names. But they have the contents, the table of contents. Okay? And we're going to get straight into this and read. All right? Here we are. U.S. Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, Washington, D.C. The committee met pursuant to notice at 10:03 a.m. in room 485, Russell Senate Office Building. Honorable Ben Nighthorse Campbell, Vice Chairman of the committee, presiding. Present Senators Campbell and Inouye. Statement of Honorable Ben Nighthorse Campbell, U.S. Senator from Colorado, Vice Chairman, Committee on Indian Affairs. Senator Campbell, the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs will be in session. This morning, we will be taking testimony on S.2694, the Thomasini Jordan Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act of 2002. Text of S.2694 follows. Senator Campbell, all right, once again, this is a printout, verbatim information, okay? Here we go. I see Senator Allen in here. We were just doing an introductory statement. You are welcome to join us at the DS. Senator Inouye has informed me that he is going to have to leave early. So before I make my opening statement, I would like to call on the chairman if he would like to say a few words before he leaves. Statement of Honorable Daniel K. Inouye, U.S. Senator from Hawaii, Chairman, Committee on Indian Affairs. The chairman, I thank the Vice President very much. I have to leave shortly for a conference of Department of Defense appropriations bill. but I wanted to be here to welcome our colleagues from the House, Mr. Moran, and the Virginia delegation of the Senate. I want to commend all of you for your support of the bill that is before the committee today. I wish to advise all of you that I have read the statements, and I believe that you make a most compelling case for the Virginia tribes that your bill seeks to address. I am particularly grateful that you have identified and appreciate the difference between federal recognition and other matters for which there are separate processes and distinct thresholds that must be met, such as the taking of land in the trust and the conduct of gaming activities. The prepared statement of our colleague from the House, Congressman Moran, details the sad and tragic history of the Virginia tribes. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that this committee will work with you and the Virginia tribes to develop a new chapter in our history books, one of which we can all be proud of. Okay? In other words, they are saying that they have to make amends to the Indians, to our ancestors, to our people, that they have caused such a Holocaust, such a genocide on our people, the original people of this land. With that, Mr. Chairman, I thank you very much, and I regret I must leave. Senator Campbell, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill was introduced on June 27, 2002, by Senator Allen for himself and Senators Warner. We have the pleasure of having Senator Allen here. I understand Senator Warner is on his way, but Congressman Moran is also on the floor voting and may not be there. This bill would provide legislative recognition to the 6 groups that are located in the Commonwealth of Virginia, because we know that's where all this started, in Virginia. The ancestors, let's read that right here. Let's read. Like I said, let's reading is fun for the mental. So let us read with understanding and overstanding. Okay? The ancestors of the tribes in Virginia were among the first native peoples of the Americas to encounter Europeans when the latter arrived in the early 1600s, and we are very familiar with those stories. Now, I am not the one saying this. This is not Chief Kalanago saying this. This is not my document. It came from the US government. Okay? And it is saying that the ancestors of the tribes in Virginia were among the first native people of America, or of the Americas rather, because America is a continent. It didn't say the United States. It said the Americas, to encounter Europeans when the latter means was the last mentioned, arrived in the early 1600s. So these people didn't come to our land until the early 1600s. So how dare you tell us what we need to be and who we could be in our land? And we are very familiar with those stories. The Virginia tribes were recognized and dealt with by the Crown of England as sovereign what? Again, sovereign entities. Okay, here goes the word sovereign again. Congress is using the word sovereign. Does that mean Congress are sovereign citizens? They never said sovereign citizens, they said sovereign entities. The Crown of England, let's read that again. The Virginia tribes were recognized and dealt with by the Crown of England. In other words, when we were dealing with the Crown of England, the Crown of England, all right, dealt with us as what? Sovereign entities. In other words, our governments, our entities were considered sovereign, with whom treaties were struck. The 6 groups seeking federal acknowledgement are currently recognized as Indian tribes by the Commonwealth of Virginia and England as well. I am told by the staff that while he was the governor, Senator Allen took part in an annual treaty honoring ceremony with the Virginia tribes that took place at Thanksgiving at the governor's home in Richmond. I commend him for doing that. In February 1999, both the Virginia House of Delegates and the Virginia Senate passed H.J. Res. 754, using the U.S. Congress to grant historic congressional federal recognition of the 8 tribes recognized by the state of Virginia. The bill before us would do just that. But would exempt the Mataponi and the Pumonke, which I think Chris Brown is part of the Pumonke tribe, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which have elected not to take part in this legislation. When he was the governor of Virginia, Senator Allen called for the tribes to be recognized. As both senators know, I have generally been opposed to legislative recognition as a substitute for the federal acknowledgement process, except in extenuating circumstances. And I am sure we may hear some of those today. Nonetheless, I understand that the frustration of the petitioning groups, some have waited generations to have their petition acted on. These Virginia tribes have submitted petitions for federal acknowledgement to the Branch of Acknowledgement and Research called the BAR, and have attempted for some years to obtain legislative recognition, but to date have been unsuccessful. In light of the upcoming 400th anniversary of the foundation of the Jamestown colony in 1607, the Commonwealth understandably wants to fully include the Virginia tribes in the celebrations, and in fact supports the tribes' bid for the federal acknowledgement. I look forward to hearing from our colleagues and our witnesses. With that, I would ask Senator Allen if he has some comments that he would like to make before we hear from the witnesses. Statement of Honorable George Allen, U.S. Senator from Virginia. Senator Allen. Yes, I would, Mr. Chairman. First and foremost, I want to thank you, Senator Campbell, for your leadership, your statement and understanding, as well as that of the chairman. Senator Anui, for having this hearing on such short notice. I recognize that there are many issues arising, but this is something that is very important to these 6 Virginia Indian tribes. I think that the views that I will be expressing will be amplified, okay, by those of the Senator Warner, who also joins me in this effort. Virginians are unified. I respectfully have asked this committee to begin the process of federal recognition for the Chickahominy and the Eastern Chickahominy, the Upper Manaponi, the Rappahannock, and the Manakon, and the Nensiman tribe by voting in favor of this measure, which we call the Tomasini Jordan Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act of 2002. I have introduced this legislation with my colleague, Senator Warner, to provide long overdue recognition status for a group of Americans that have been part of this country's history from its inception. When the English settlers came into Virginia, the 6 tribes that are seeking federal recognition have suffered humiliation and indignities that have gone largely unnoticed by most Americans. Many of these injustices were not a result of any action the Virginia Indians undertook. They were rather due to government policies that sought to eliminate their culture and heritage. You see, Congress is saying that, not Chief Kalanago. No, it's Congress. They're telling you what they did. Okay? I'm going to read that again. It was no fault of ours. All right? But rather, they were rather due to the government policies that sought to what? Eliminate their culture and heritage. And that's what's happening today. By trying to, or forcing us to accept being Black or African American, and when we declare who we are, you want to call us sovereign citizens or call us terrorists or anti-government. You are doing the same thing that Congress said y'all did in the 1600s. You are making an attempt to eliminate our culture and our heritage. And I promise you, you're setting yourself up for a lawsuit, because we are not going to stand for that. We are not going to stand for the forced assimilation. All right, let us proceed. I believe because of these facts, the circumstances of the situation warrants congressional motion for federal recognition. I can understand the concern that my colleagues express over granting federal recognition without the investigative process used by the Department of Interior. However, if one closely examines the history of these Virginia Indians, they will see why this legislation has been introduced and why my colleagues, Congresswoman Joan Davis and Congressman Jim Moran, continue to push for recognition on the House side. The history of these 6 tribes begins, well, before the first European landed on this continent. Our story began way before the European landed on this continent. Not just the United States, but the continent. What is the continent? Turtle Island, Abiyala, the Americas and her surrounding islands. Okay? We have been here. Even Congress is telling you so. The United States government is telling you that. I'm not the one saying it. They are in their own documents. This is a document verbatim. Okay? Word for word. I'm not making this up. Go do your own research. All right? History has shown they're continuous inhabitants of Virginia. So for all you American Indians, your family came from Virginia. It says what? Congress is telling you, the American government is telling you that history has shown that you're continuous inhabitants of Virginia, meaning that it has always been. That means you never came. Okay? So this whole, all these slaves come from America, from where? Where did they come? And on what ship did they come? Where's the manifest? That's a bunch of lies. We were already here. Okay? Keep that in mind. Why do you think? You see, I tell people you got to use your own head. Okay? Use your own head. Why do you think businesses would go to China to get products in wholesale to sell at retail? In other words, they want the products cheaper so that they could get a bigger turnover on their profits. So why would the slave master go all the way to Africa, okay, to where it's more expensive to get the same people to bring them into the Americas that was already here, when they could just enslave the ones that were already here? I'll wait. I will wait. Isn't that the whole purpose of a business, is to make profit? So if you already have these so-called black people here, why would you go to Africa and get the same black people that already know the land, that know the soil, that know the crop, that know the vegetation? Why would you go to another, across the world, to get people that look just like them to enslave them? Come on, man. But y'all think Chief Kalanago bugging, huh? Anyway, let's read, because reading is fun for the mental. All right, let's read. This is where I'm at right now. Through the last 400 years, they have undergone great hardship. However, many have worked to maintain their traditions and their heritage through those difficult centuries. To put the long history of the Virginia Indians in context, while many federally recognized tribes have signed agreements with the United States government, the Virginia Indians tribes hold treaties with what? The King of England, including the Treaty of 1677 between tribes and Charles II. Charles II was a so-called black man. Brothers and sisters, I keep telling y'all, it wasn't the pale man who came here to took our land in the first place. It was people who looked just like us. Okay? The pale man just took over the game, because the pale man came as slaves as well, with some other Europeans, original Irish, original Germans, original Portuguese, original Scottish, even original Britons. So-called black people came here as indentured servants, including what they call white cargo. Y'all gonna learn today, okay? Y'all gonna learn if you so choose to, that is. Indeed, the ceremony that Senator Campbell mentioned, where there is a tribute paid, is a treaty that goes way back before our succession and independence from Britain. And they're talking about that treaty right there, where the tribes were to pay taxes to the crown colony of 20 beaver pelts at the going of the geese. All right? So that was what considered to be money, beaver pelts, because they didn't have the fiat currency that they had right now. So when our so-called brothers and sisters across, the so-called kings and nobles, when they came and they enslaved our people, we had to pay the crown taxes. Okay? That's in their documents. I'm not the one making it up. Like I said, y'all gonna learn today if y'all so choose. Now let's read. This is a continuation of the heritage and that treaty, again, that precedes even our independence from Britain. Like the plight of many Indian tribes across America, during the last 4 centuries, the Virginia tribes were continually moved from their land, and many assimilated into what U.S. societies. So like I tell y'all, so-called black people, African American, niggers, whatever you want to call yourself, we were forced to assimilate in all these U.S. societies. You are the American Indian in the ghettos and in the hood. But y'all want to keep calling yourself black. Go right ahead. Even then, the Indians of Virginia were not extended to the same rights offered to U.S. citizens. Okay? So that means we were not U.S. citizens. The years of racial discrimination and coercive policies meaning that trickery, same thing they're using today. They are telling you in their own documents, took a tremendous toll on the population of Virginia Indians. During the 20th century, at the turn of the 20th century, members of these tribes suffered even more injustice. New state mandates forced Virginia Indians to renounce their Indian names and heritage. Once again, it is not Chief Kalanago that's saying that. It is the U.S. government. It is Congress, not me. I'm going to read it again. New state mandates forced Virginia Indians to renounce their Indian names and heritage. So what we had to do, we had to take the names of the nobles. The nobles of who? France, Britain, Scotland. They all look just like us. Okay? All right then. Like I said, y'all gonna learn today. The passing of the Racial Integrity Act of 1924 began a dark time in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia. This measure, which was enforced by a state of official, the registrar of what? Bureau of Vital Statistics, a man named Walter Ashby Plecker. Go look up this culprit, please. Walter Ashby Plecker sought to what? Destroy all records of the Virginia Indians and recognize them as what? Colored. As colored. So let me ask you once again, to all you Native Americans, when were you ever, I'm going to ask you again, when were you ever called colored? Man, y'all think this is a game. Let me stop here for a second. Okay? Let me stop here for a second. All right? I hope y'all paying attention to what's going on. Once again, like I said, class is in session. Please support. All right? Show your support. Show your appreciation. Because I'm giving you information, whether you knew it or not, that you could teach your children, teach your family, so that grounds that we can stand on when we declare who we are, when these municipalities want to give us problems. Copy all these documents, notarize them, and just slap it in their faces. Because even Congress is telling you what they did to our people. The United States government is telling you what they did to our people. You feel me? They are the ones telling you what they did. I'm just regurgitating the information. Okay? That's all I'm doing. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Where we at? Okay, let's read that again. You see, we got to read that again. Let's read that again. Let's see who the American Indian is. For all you natives, let's see who the American Indian is. Okay? Let's read that again. Where we at? I'm going to start right here. I'm going to read this entire paragraph. Okay? The passing of the Racial Integrity Act of 1924 began a dark time in the history of the Commonwealth of Virginia. This measure, which was enforced by a state official, the Registrar of Bureau of Vital Statistics, a man named Walter Ashby Plecker, sought to destroy what? Sought to destroy all, not some, but all of the records of the Virginia Indians and recognize them as what? As colored. Right here, as colored. You see why they call us colored people? Because that's a code word for you are the American Indian. That's what Walter Ashby Plecker did. Destroy all the records that we had, declaring who we are. So let me ask you again. Show me any documents when this where these $5 Indians, these people calling themselves natives today, show me where they were ever called colored. I just showed you who the real American Indian is. Okay? And I'm not the one saying that. Congress, the United States is saying that. Verbatim, word for word. Okay? Let's read some more. People were threatened with imprisonment for noting Indian on their birth certificate. Isn't that what they're trying to do today? When you go to the hospital, when you go to their system and you say, nah, correct who I am. I'm not black, I'm American Indian. Don't they threaten you with coercion? The same thing? Brothers and sisters, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Who do you think these people that's running this system right now? They are the children of the same people who did that to our parents. And they just want their history to repeat itself by what their parents did to our parents, do it to us. But now it stops here. We are not going to allow you to perpetuate this genocide on our people. We are not going to allow that. Okay? I'm going to read that again. Mothers were not allowed to take their children, their newborn children, home. In other words, when you went to the hospital, they would kidnap your children or hold them hostage if they were given an Indian name. Hence, we have all these names that are not Indian names. This policy, along with the overzealous enforcement by Plecker, has left Virginia Indians searching for their true identity. Isn't that where we are at today, brothers and sisters? Everybody's searching for identity because that was taken from us, that was robbed from us. Let's read some more. I am going to incorporate, if may, into the record an article by respected journalist Peter Harden, who did research on this in a comprehensive article that appeared on March 5th, 2000 in the Richmond Times-Dispatch. It shows a good research into this matter, and I would like it on the record. And no, that's on record, all right? That's always on the record. That's how you put something on, you make sure that it's on the record. The point is, the Racial Integrity Act left the records of thousands of Virginia Indians inaccurate or deliberately misleading until 1997. Okay? That was a deliberate act, misleading act. Okay? In other words, it was premeditated. As governor that year, we signed into law legislation that directed state agencies to correct all states' records related to Virginia Indians, reclassifying them as what? American Indians and not colored. Okay? Y'all gonna learn today. All right? The governor signed into law a legislation. It's a law that directed the state agencies to correct all, not some, but all state records relating to Virginia Indians, reclassifying them as American Indians and not colored. Now somebody tell me I'm making that up. Okay? As governor, my administration championed this initiative after learning of the pain and the concern of this racist policy. So anytime they're trying to prevent you from claiming or proclaiming or declaring that you're an American Indian, they are racist. And how it inflicted the pain on many Virginia citizens. I was also briefed on the problems that many Virginia Indians experience when attempting to even trace back their ancestry or have the records of their children or their deceased family members corrected. So to combat those injustices, we ensured that any American Indian whose certified copy of birth certificate record contains an incorrect racial designation were able to obtain a corrected birth certificate without paying a fee. Okay? Without paying a fee, if you so choose to get that corrected. All right. It is bad enough what was done in the past, but to make a citizen have to pay a fee because of a state policy that forces racial discrimination was clearly wrong. So we made sure there were no costs in the regard. Now, because of the arrogant, manipulating policies of the Virginia Racial Integrity Act, the Virginia tribes have had a difficult time collecting and even substantiating official documents necessary for federal recognition. Okay? And this is done what? It is done intentionally, and that's on the record. Though no fault of their own. No, it is not our fault. The records they need to meet the stringent and difficult requirements for federal recognition are simply not available, and they are trying to work through it. I fear that unless my colleagues take action legislatively, these 6 tribes will be faulted and denied federal recognition for circumstances and discrimination over which they had no control. The Virginia tribes have filed a petition with the Department of Interior's Branch of Acknowledgement and Recognition. However, I believe congressional action is the appropriate path for federal recognition. The 6 Indian tribes represented here today have faced discrimination and attacks on their culture that are unheard of in most regions and states of the United States. The federal recognition brings numerous benefits to Virginia Indians, including access to education, assistance, housing assistance, and healthcare services, which are available to most American Indians. So for those of you who are asking, well, if I claim American Indian, would I have healthcare? That is our right as American Indians. These people came into our land and established themselves. So therefore, they cannot take away any of the benefits that is owed to us. All right? Period. The education grants in particular would provide an avenue for Virginia Indians to improve the prospects for employment and hopefully to secure even better jobs, along with health benefits in that job. The benefits that are offered by federal recognition would not be restitution for the years of institutional racism and hostility, but it would provide new opportunities for members of the 6 tribes. This recognition, Mr. Chairman, Senator Campbell, and I see my colleague from Virginia, Senator Warner, is here, is really a matter of justice. It is a matter of fair treatment, and it is a matter of honor and pride of heritage and family. Yes, the health benefits, the education opportunities all matter, but it is also a recognition that we, as a federal government, want to do what is right by these individuals. I am not blaming the federal government for what Virginia did, but nevertheless, this recognition is long time coming. Now, I understand that there are concerns of some members of Congress. I share the concerns about gambling, which becomes a big issue in property claims that relate to federally recognized Indian tribes. Many members of Congress place the issue of gambling and casinos from front and center when discussing federal recognition of Indian tribes. Now, we don't have to get into all that, all right? But I'm just showing you where I really wanted to point out. Okay? Well, you know what? Let's read a little more. But I'll still put that in the description for everybody to read. Okay? Let's read a little more. While I do not doubt that states have experienced difficulties as a result of Indian tribes erecting casinos, I feel confident that gambling is not the goal of these 6 tribes. Even if it were, we were gambling way before the colonizers came to our land. That is part of our culture, man. Why do you think brothers stand on the corner playing CeeLo? That is part of our culture. The tribes have stated that they have no intention of seeking casino gambling licenses and do not currently engage in bingo enterprises or operations, even though they have permission to do so under Virginia law. So to allay any fears as you go through each and every one of the specific tribes, I have put in the legislation, as has my colleague and co-sponsor, Senator Warner, and is the same as the House version. It makes it very clear that there are proper safeguards under Virginia law and Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. The concern that federal recognition will result in gambling or casino problems in Virginia have been sufficiently addressed. Only if would allow casino gambling in the state would Virginia Indians be able to do so. So the point is, Virginia does not allow it. I do not foresee it in Virginia, and I cannot imagine the state changing those laws to allow it on any Indian lands. But again, that's our choice. You cannot determine whether we have the right to do that or not. That is part of our culture. We have always done that. All right? I have spoken to many of these members of these 6 tribes, and again, they are not seeking this recognition for any superficial gain. They are instead seek recognition to reaffirm their places as American Indians after that right has been stripped from them for many decades. All right, so I'll just leave that here for now. Okay, before I read the next set of information. Okay. Okay. So once again, I'm just dropping. Thank you, American. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting the super chat. All right, and once again, I hope more of you guys will follow suit for the information that's being dropped. Okay, like I said, you're not going to learn that in school. Many of you pay thousands and thousands of dollars to put yourself in debt for student loans. All right, so I'm just saying the least you could do is show your appreciation. All right, that's all I'm just saying. Okay, here we go. So the link is here. Let us continue the reading, and let's make this happen, man. We got some more reading to do. All right, we got some more reading to do. There's nothing new under the sun. Gambling is part of our culture. That's what we did. Throwing dice is part of our culture. This is nothing new. All right. Now let's read the Indian Recognition Act of 1934. All right. Indian Recognition Act of 1934. President Roosevelt signed the Indian Recognition Act, also called the Wheeler-Howard Act, on June 18th, 1934. The law was designed to conserve and develop Indian lands and resources, to extend to Indians the right to form business and other organizations. All right, we have that right as American Indians to form our business and other organizations. Okay? We have that right to establish a credit system for Indians. Where's the credit system for American Indians? All right, let us read this again, because I don't want people to think I'm making these things up. I am showing you this from their own mouths. Okay, I'm not making it up. Let us read. President Roosevelt signed the Indian Reorganization Act, also called the Wheeler-Howard Act, on June 18th, 1934. The law was designed to conserve and develop Indian lands and resources, to extend to Indians the right to form a business and other organizations, to establish a credit system for Indians, to grant certain rights of home rule to Indians, to provide for vocational education for Indians, and for other purposes. For many decades prior to the Indian Reorganization Act, government policies towards American Indians was one of what? Assimilation, privatization of tribal lands, and the suppression of native cultures. In a statement to the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs in 2011, Jefferson Keel, then president of the National Congress of American Indians and current lieutenant governor of Chickasaw Nation, said, what? Kill the Indian and save the man was the slogan of that era. Like I told you before, they had to kill the Indian and then save the man. That's why our identity will change for all these years, because they had to kill the Indian and just to save the man. And the way you kill the Indian is by changing his identity, not killing him literally. Of course, they have done that. Okay? The biggest Holocaust in history is the Holocaust of the American Indian. Okay? And that's facts. But how they have to kill the Indian and save the man, they have to change our identity. Kill the Indian, but save the man. How do you do that? You change their identity. That's how you do that. All right, let me see if I can find something for you guys real quick. I'm going to stop sharing the screen real quick. All right, give me a second here. And let me see if I can find that. I wonder where is that at? Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second here. I wouldn't even know where that's at. If I can't find it, then it's all good. But where would that be at? Okay. Give me a second. I'm looking for something just to substantiate some of what I'm showing you. But, you know, if I can't find it, then it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? I'm not even going to, go ahead because I can't find that right now. So we're not going to get into that. But I just wanted to go show you, all the, all their different, names that they called us. But you guys have seen the memes before, right? It started in 1492 as American Indian. Then we had Black, then African American, all these different things. I wanted to show you guys that. But anyway, let's go back to reading, okay? Because I don't want to spend too much time trying to find that and kill the momentum, all right? It's bad enough they want to kill the Indian and save the man. All right, let's proceed. I'm reading from here now, okay? So the slogan of that time was to what? Kill the Indian and save the man, all right? The federal government did everything it could to disband our tribes, break up our families, and suppress our culture. Over 90 million acres of tribal land held on the treaties were taken, more than 2/3 of the tribal land base. In 1934, Congress rejected allotment and assimilation and passed the IRA, all right? The Indian Reorganization Act improved the political, economic, and social conditions of American Indians in a number of ways. Privatization was terminated rather. Some of the land taken was returned and new land could be purchased with federal funds. A policy of tribal self-government was implemented. Okay? So what? We have a right to what? Self-govern. So we are not anti-government. The truth is we are looking for a government-to-government relationship because that's what the treaties were. All right? Tribes were allowed to incorporate businesses and credit established to further such business, and education and employment opportunities were greatly enhanced. While there were some problems with the law, particularly in implementation, it showed some significant some successes rather. For example, by 1940, 135 tribal constitutions had been written, voted upon, and put into operation. Millions of acres were restored or added to tribal lands. 4.4 million was loaned for livestock and farm equipment. About 73 million in 2014. $14. And employment of American Indians in the Federal Office of Indian Affairs, today called the Bureau of Indian Affairs, was greatly increased. Now, this is a concern because you see, when they change our identity, they put the $5 Indians in place to get all these benefits. So you may be asking yourself, well, Chief, I hear all these millions of dollars is 73 million. We ain't seen none of that. No, because they had to put $5 Indians in our place because there was a void. They had to put these natives to get those benefits. And I showed you who the Indian was in their own documents. They changed from Indian to colored. So all this is prima facie evidence on record. The Indian Reorganization Act faced a considerable opposition from people who wanted to acquire or exploit tribal lands. It even faced opposition from some tribes. Nevertheless, a 1938 report signed by a large group of scholars, former government officials, activists, and American Indians suggested that while some tribal opposition represents an honest difference of view, much of it was due to the deception and manipulation of Indians by interested whites interested whites, or to property and class conflicts among the Indians themselves. Crucially, Indians were allowed to vote on whether the law would apply to their tribe. You see, we had a vote. We have a right to vote whether their law applied to us or not. Okay? The voting period was over. 266 tribes had accepted the Indian Reorganization Act and 77 had rejected. For some tribes, there were negative consequences from rejecting it. For example, the Colville tribe of Washington State voted against the act on the suspicious circumstances, losing valuable land to non-Indians and putting its sovereignty in what? Jeopardy with the state. So because they didn't vote or they didn't agree to the Reorganization Act, guess what they said? They lost valuable land to what? Non-Indians. And putting what? Their sovereignty. How is that in all their documents? They're calling us sovereigns. In jeopardy with the state. The Indian Reorganization Act was one of the several initiatives by the New Deal policymakers. Once again, they are what? Policymakers. I didn't say it. To improve the quality of life for American Indians. A 1940 report summed this up. Through the Indian CCC division, an extension of other such emergency funds was PWA and emergency relief. Many necessary physical improvements have been installed on 200 reservations, while at the same time, thousands of Indians have received employment and training opportunities in skills formerly unavailable to them. Now, those are all the sources here. So I don't want people to think I'm making this up. All right? All that information I will put in the link for you, and you could do your independent research. Let's go to the next one. All right? Let's go to the next one. This is the Encyclopedia of Britannica. Again, the Indian Reorganization Act. Looking at it from a different perspective. Let's do a little more reading because reading is fun for the mental. Okay? Let's read. Here we go. Indian Reorganization Act, also called Wheeler-Howard Act, June 18th, 1934, measure enacted by the U.S. Congress, not by Chief Kalinago, but the U.S. Congress, aimed at decreasing federal control of American Indian affairs and increasing Indian self-government and responsibility. Now, they have a highlight of American Indian. So let's go see again what an American or who an American Indian is. Let's click on that. Okay, let's click on that. Come on, man. Come on. All of a sudden you're freezing up on me, fam. Come on. No, this is some BS here. All right. All right. It's about it's coming in. All of a sudden things are slowing down. But while it's buffering, okay, it says, okay, here, come on. You want me to exit the page? I don't want to exit the page, man. Stop it. Come on, for real. See, I tell you, man. I tell you. Let me see if I could open it up in another browser. Let me see if I can open it up in another browser. They're not gonna stop this bill, though. I'll tell you, the information is gonna come regardless. They're not gonna stop it. Okay? They're not gonna stop it. All right. Here we go. I put it in another browser. And I'm gonna click on that link again. Let me see if I'm gonna have that problem. All right, there we go. There's more than one way to skin a cat. All right, so let's read this little part right here, right? It says, the Indian Reorganization Act, also called the Wheeler-Howard Act of June 18, 1934, measure enacted by the U.S. Congress aimed at decreasing federal control of what? American Indian. Let's go look at that now. Who the American Indian is. All right? American Indian, also called Indian, Native American, what? Indigenous American, Aboriginal American, Amerindian, or Amerind. A member of any of the Aboriginal peoples of the Western Hemisphere. Okay? This is it right here, family. I rest my case. We don't have to read anything else. I'm done with reading. Okay? And I showed you in their own document, Congress, the United States saying it, that who the Indian is. They changed their identity from American Indian to colored. So now we know the colored people are the Indians. Then we are what? We are the original native people. We are the indigenous people. We are the indigenous American. We are the Aboriginal American. We are the Amerindian. And we are the Amerind. Now I can stop sharing my screen. I'm going to put all that stuff in the link for y'all. Okay? That's it. I don't have to show nothing else. I'm done. I'm done. The only thing I'm going to show, like I said, is for y'all to support. That's it. I'm done. So when these people want to play these games, because we are standing up to say who we are, they want to deem us terrorists. No. That trick is not going to work anymore. You cannot keep using the same form of genocide on our people. We're not going to allow that, man. We're not going to allow it. We're not going to allow it. Now, period. Okay? So like I tell folks, man, we don't have to hurt our heads too much. All the information is there. The information is there. Some of you may not know how to find it. Well, that's part of my job, giving you the information. And you have other people doing the same thing. But I'm just here playing my part. Okay? Playing my part. Making sure that my people are educated. My people know the information. Okay? So I'm not black. I'm not African. I'm not African. I'm not African American. I'm none of that. Stop with the genocide of our people, man. Stop with it. So with that being said, thank you for being a part of the build. Let me just go ahead and let you know that this build was brought to you by, okay, because we have to support our own, we have to promote our own. That's what we got to do. Okay, that's what we got to do. Okay, let us go here and let us share this. But I will put all that information in the link for y'all. All right, it was brought to you by Original Tribal Wear. Go to the website originaltribalwear.com, and women, men's, children, tribal apparel. Okay. So go ahead. I'll put all that link. I'll put all that information in the link for y'all so y'all can check it out. Okay. We have to support our own. All right. We are all that we have. It's only when we unite and stand up, we get the respect. If we continue to disrespect each other, we're not going to get the respect. That's why everybody's looking at us the way they look at us. You feel me? Because a lot of us don't have respect for each other. But all that's changing because I'm getting a lot of friend requests. Everybody hit me, hey, peace, brother, peace, God. You see, we are getting back to where we need to be. Getting back to the gods that we are. All right? So here, go support our sister Mohawk in California and our sister Denise. Go support her. She's in Tennessee. Also, Simply Stoned. All right, the website is simplystoned.webs.com for your stones and your jewels. You know what I mean? Definitely. All that stuff will be in the link below for y'all. So go ahead and support. You could get your own your own necklaces, with your custom made name and everything on there. All right. So go ahead and get that. You got crystals for different energies and all that. So by all means, go ahead and check that out. Let us go to the previous page. Okay. So let's teach our brothers and sisters, man. Don't get mad at them when they call themselves black. I don't get mad at them. I just share the information. Teach them. Teach them. You know what I mean? Educate them. Show them why. Let me tell you who we are. Show them these documents that's coming from Congress, coming from the United States government, from the federal government. Show them. Our people, I hear what you're saying, but show me the proof. Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm showing you the proof. I'm showing you the proof. Documentation beats conversation. I don't care how much you talk all day. You could talk all day. You could accuse me all day, but I got the documents. Go take up your issues with the United States. Go take up your issues with Congress because they said that. They said the colored people are the American Indians. Okay? They said it. Let me go to my Facebook page real quick, show y'all something. More and more, I'm getting a lot of requests from brothers and sisters, man. Like I said, positive vibes, us, just acknowledging each other as brothers and sisters. Man, listen, that's what you see. They don't like that. And that's a threat to them. They don't like that. They don't like to see us in unity. They always want to see us in disarray. They want the whole gang mentality. All right. One be against the next and the other. Now we ain't doing that no more. All right. And I'm putting a message out there to all my brothers and sisters who are Bloods and Crips and in all these different groups. Unite. Bring the red and the blue together. You are one. We are the same people. You are the American Indians in the hood. Let us stop all this noise, man. That's what they don't want. But let's give them what they don't want. Let's give it to them. Okay? That's what we got to do. Let me just show y'all this real quick. This thing is still loading. Because that's what they're trying to do. They right now they're trying to target me. You know what I'm saying? To show me as an extremist because I say I'm an American Indian. Come on, man. Y'all can't try that, man. Y'all have tried that that's the same trick in the book. How is that y'all get to claim that you're Irish American, that you're Scottish American, you're German American, you're all these kind of Americans, but I'm an original American, and if I say I'm an American Indian, I'm an extremist? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop with the BS. This is something I put together. Let me just share it with you guys. All right? I just put that as the cover picture of cover photo on my Facebook page. So let me just share that with y'all real quick, and then we'll conclude this build. All right? Right. And, this is something that, our children need to know who they are, man. You feel me? They need to know. Today we learn about colors, boys and girls. We will also learn who is a real American. On the left, I have a picture here. It says, our skin isn't black, boys and girls. And below, I'm saying the color of my pants. Chief pants is black, boys and girls. And I have a color, what black looks like. This is black, boys and girls. Right here, we have, this is different shades of brown, boys and girls, because it seems like grown people have a problem with colors because they keep calling their skin black. Your skin is not black. And there's no such thing as the black race. There's the black color. And if we really get into the science of everything, black is not a color, but we're not going to get into the semantics. Okay? And we have what's called the Indian red Crayola crayon. Okay? Indian red is actually, like I said, a red Indian is actually brown, boys and girls. Okay? And then we have the pennies. Because why did I put the pennies? Because it says in Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, American, a native of America, originally applied to what the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of the Europeans born in America. In other words, they tell you that the natives took our places. Right here in bold. That's why I put the pennies up there. Various shades of copper, boys and girls. And below, what is copper? Copper is a reddish brown color. That's why they call us the red man. All right? But we ain't red, it's brown. That they call it red. That resembles the metal copper. The first recorded use of copper as a color named in English was in 1594. All right? And let me just show y'all something that I posted today. I just put a little declaration on Facebook because these people want to keep playing these games, right? I ain't playing games with y'all. I'm putting y'all on notice, okay? For the record, I'm putting y'all on notice. Let me see if I can find this right here. Give me a second, okay? And I just did a public notice early on Facebook, and it reads, I'm going to read it for y'all. Because anytime you put anything on Facebook, remember, Facebook it's a public notice. Facebook is being traded on the New York Stock Exchange. It's a public company. So therefore, everything that you're putting on Facebook, your pictures, your posts, your intellectual property, all that is actually a public notice. It's on the record. For those of you who don't know. So this is a public notice that I just made. Notice. All right, I just did that an hour ago. I am not black, not African American, not a color. I am Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, a God made in the likeness and image of gods who came before me. And then I put in brackets. The reason why I put it in brackets is because it is in my document, but it's not part of my document. Okay? But it's a reference. So I'm referencing Genesis 1:26. Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth. So my creator gave me dominion over all of the earth. So how dare you tell me you have dominion over me? And over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. That's what my creator told me. It's in every Bible, that's in every court across the United States. Let's read some more. I am that I say I am, and I am God. I am God. And then I quoted what again? I made reference to Psalms 82:6. I said, you are gods, and it is written in your law. I said, ye are gods. That's being reaffirmed again, that I'm a God. Therefore, I am God, man, manifest in flesh. And then I say it again. I quoted John 1:14. And the word was what? Made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. I am the begotten son of the gods that came before me. All right, and I say what? Who identified as an original man of Turtle Island, Abiyala, which is another name for the Americas and her surrounding islands, aka American Indian. That's on the record. I'm letting you know who I am. Let this stand as a public declaration. If no man and or woman can rebuttal this declaration within 30 days with facts contrary to the aforementioned, it stands as law. Respectfully, Chief Kalanago, and I reserve all my unalienable rights, natural rights, that is. This is a public traded stock company. So therefore, that notice is being traded right now. as we speak. It is a public notice. I ain't playing games with y'all. I ain't playing the games. Let us go a little further down. Okay? And I did another post 13 hours ago. I don't care how many bachelor degrees you have. I don't care how many masters you got. Don't care what type of scholar you claim to be. Don't care how educated you are. Don't care what type of job you got. Don't care how much money you got. If you cannot look at your skin and see it isn't black, or don't know by now black is not a race, I am not impressed. Even 5-year-olds know their skin ain't black. Facts over feelings. Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, God manifest in flesh. My flesh is the same as the soil and the dirt and the earth, because that's where it goes back to. Okay? Let me show, let us go ahead again. Well, of course, I showed y'all that before. So we don't have to go through that. Showed y'all that before. All right? And this is here, brothers and sisters. I really want y'all to show y'all support, man. We keep talking about we love each other and we care about each other and we should look out each other. My brother reached out to me. My beloved brother reached out to me. And he's in critical conditions, bones broken, have to do all these surgeries. All right? And he reached out. So I said, I'm going to put the word out. Come on, man. Y'all got to show some support, man. Stop being a hypocrite, man. Stop talking about we care about each other by just the word of mouth. Show the action, man. Show the action. So this is the brother reaching out. That's on my page. I'm also going to put that link in the videos so y'all could support. All right? And then let me just go down a little bit before I conclude this. Just run down through my timeline another bit because I also made another public notice. We're not going to get into this one right here because our children are lost. All right? This is some soursop leaves that I drink that tea. All right. I just want to go to that other notice that I did. Here's another notice that I did. Okay? Here's another notice that I did. Notice. Like I said, this is a public notice. I am man. Because what? The Most High said, let us make man in our likeness and image. So I'm not saying anything wrong. That's what my creator told me. I made you as a God man, right? Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, a God manifest in the flesh. I am a descendant, ascendant of the original people of Turtle Island, Abiyala, the Americas. To Facebook, et alair. Et alair means and others. Okay? I may have signed a contract knowingly or unknowingly by using your platform. I may have not had full disclosure and or full understanding of your terms and conditions. Therefore, anything I may have said in the past or will say in the future on your Facebook platform, I want to make it clear that I do not waive any of my unalienable Great Spirit natural rights. Anything I have said or will say in an inbox or timeline cannot or will not be held against me in any legal/lawful suits without unquestionable facts that I have injured anyone. You have 7 business days to respond to this notice via inbox or my registered email. Respectfully, Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle, Section 1-308, all rights, indigenous rights reserved. Period, point blank. That's it. I'm not playing these games, man. I'm not going to play these games with y'all. And y'all are not going to assassinate my character. Y'all are not going to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that. You feel me? So here we go. That's it, guys. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put the brother link in below this video so that y'all can show the brother some support. For those of you that wish to support the work that I do, my channel, or just to show your appreciation, man. You know what I mean? Simple. You know, like I said, I'm getting ready to do some traveling to do some more research for us. All I'm just saying is, man, just support, man. That's because I'm bringing the information to you anyway. You did? So don't make me feel like I'm here begging y'all to support me. I don't want to get that feeling. All right? So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your continuation. Thank you so much for being a part of this build. Let us continue to build. Let us continue to love each other. We are a peaceful people. We are a loving people. No matter how they try to paint us and, just push out there to the public that we are rogues and thugs and we are this and we are that. We are menace to societies. You know what I mean? Let us not have these people, you dig, paint us that way. Give them back their blackness. Black History Month is that don't belong to us. Give it back to them. Okay? We are indigenous Americans. We are American Indians. We are Aboriginal Americans. We are original Americans. Original people of Turtle Island. That's who we are. Black has no standing, period. African American has no standing, period. If you don't believe me, go look at the Dred Scott case. It has never been overturned. No one of African descent will never be a United States citizen. In other words, you will not be part of a civilized society. That's why when they run up on you, they label you as black on their radios and they're ready to shoot you because in their system, black means that you're a terrorist. But y'all want to continue to be black, go ahead and be black if you so choose to. But that's not me. It ain't me. I ain't that. Period, point blank. You see, that's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of a man or a woman that use their mind and have knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of a man, a brother or a sister with a gun. They're not afraid of that because they got bigger guns than you. That will give them a reason to shoot you in the street like a dog. So I'm not advocating violence. I'll never do that. But I'm advocating that you get the knowledge. Get the knowledge. Because that's where it all starts. That's why the saying, the revolution will not be televised, meaning that it's within you. And the only camera that's within you is the I am. That's it. So educate yourself. Get the knowledge. Because the guns and the knives, that's not what's going to free us. It's our minds that's going to free us. They want you to be a thug. They want you to be a gangster. But be a gangster with the knowledge. Be thuggish with the knowledge. You dig? Don't give them a reason. Because they're not afraid of you when you have the gun. Because they got bigger gangs. They call us gangs, but they got bigger gangs than us. You feel me? But what they're truly afraid of is a man and a woman that's so-called of color that have intelligence, that have knowledge, and know how to apply the knowledge. That is their biggest threat. And that's why they're getting mad. That's why they're mad at Chief Kalanago right now. Because I'm educating my people. But it's okay for your people to get education. It's okay for your people to be policemen and lawyers and judges and senators and congressmen. But when I'm teaching my people how to elevate themselves, you wanna classify me as a terrorist. It's not gonna happen, man. That's what y'all do to paint a dossier on people. But I've already made my declaration of who I am. And you have 30 days to rebuttal that. And if you cannot rebuttal that with facts, then it stands as law. And I already made copies of that record, screenshots of it, so y'all cannot delete it, period. That's simple. So once again, I thank y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your continuation. And once again, my Cash App is there. Feel free to support. I appreciate that. Good looking. Peace, love, harmony, and light.